Hi, family. Today I want to talk about how everybody's calling is different. Just like I have told you before, that everybody's recovery is different. Everybody's story is different. So when you do certain things, people feel like they doing the same thing as another person. No, because everybody's story is different. You see, the best thing God does is when He puts a couple, a relationship together, He knows what He's doing. Regardless of what He does, He always knows what He's doing. I want to thank God for the wife that I have today. And it was a blessing for me. It was a great blessing for me. At the same time, it could probably have been one for her too. Because I feel that when God put us together, it was so we could be a team. You see, finally, I have spoke to my wife before about speaking and sharing. And she have overlooked it. Because she don't feel she's that person. But again, if I'm not mistaken, it was Moses that couldn't speak because he stuttered and everything. And he wound up being one of the best speakers, one of the best disciples. You see, we really don't know what we really want to be or capable of being until you get a calling from God. Today my wife made a video, which was a great video. And I just let you know, my wife is not copying me. My wife, if it was up to her, she wouldn't do it. But she's feeling convicted, not by me, but by the Lord, because it's her calling. She has her own stories, and I have mine. And they're completely different stories. And the same way I have sit here and asked everybody out there to spread the word of the Lord, why wouldn't I tell my wife to spread the word of the Lord? Actually, I feel that she plays a big part in me getting involved with the Lord. You see, my wife took a gamble with going out with me because I came straight from jail. Even though she knew me before that, and the people she knew, they felt they knew what type of person I was. And they thought I was a great person. Yet I say that I changed 720. So I must be much better. I'm much better not because I'm a better person, but because I have God in my life. You see, my wife being an inspirational speaker like me, or will someday write a book like me, all it does is prove that we are a team. It's confirmation. We know we're a team. I actually ought to pray for my wife because maybe it'll be easier to understand that it is a calling from God. She's definitely a great speaker because that's something she do. And I even told her she speak on other little things that she does, even in her job, being in a diversity team, being in all kind of teams, and she speaks at her job for her higher ups. Even if she speaks like that, it's still helping people to let them know that whatever they call to be, they could be. She's a great inspiration in my life because I spoke for a long time about a book and doing what I'm doing until finally I decided to do it. But I'm not the only one that have been spoken to. She has been spoken to by people as well. And now she's starting to create her own videos and everything. And pretty soon you'll have a duo, because it'll be me and my wife making a video together. A lot of people come up to us and talks to us about matrimonies. And they could talk to us about that because we are very, very secretive person. When somebody talks to us, we do not speak to it with nobody. You know? When somebody speaks to me, I say, I do talk to my wife about everything. It's, you know, like saying, if I can't tell my wife, don't tell me. Because I will talk to my wife. I always say she's my better half. And we've been doing this for a while. We done help a lot of people with their matrimony. Some's work out, some don't. Some we already knew it wasn't gonna work. Because just because you come to ask for help don't mean you do what they tell you to do. Because that's what happens in life today. People ask for help and then refuse to do what they ask to do. And that's because they're not ready. It's not because they're being stubborn or fighting the situation. They're not ready. Everything is on God's time. My wife being able to make videos, it's on God's time. And it comes more in her face and being convicted more and more confirmation because different people she knows, a person spoke that don't even know her and it touched her. You see, you can't feel offended when you try to help somebody and then they wind up getting the help somewhere else. Because the reality is, if you don't plant the seed and water it, it's not going to grow. So as long as you plant a seed in a person and somebody else continue the project, it will grow. It will grow. And again, like I said, God never failed us. And only good comes out where God lays his hands. And I really feel in the bottom of my heart that God has laid his hands on us. Not just me. So for me to do what I'm doing and my wife not being part of it and be able to do, she loves God. I really believe she loved God before I did. She comes from a family, her grandmother that died, may she rest in peace, and at the age of 103 still praising the Lord. I'm sure her grandmother planted a seed on her because when we speak, my wife tells me how strict she was. You have dinner, you pray, you sing hymns, then you go pray, then she goes pray by herself. This is things that stay inside you. But it's on God's time. I have this shirt that says survivor of cancer. But I really feel that I'm more than a survivor of cancer. I'm a survivor of life. I've told you before I should have died at the age of 13. But it's not for me to say. It's for God to say. And I say the same thing about my wife. I've been patient. I have spoke to her. You know? And I just let you know. There's no competition between me and my wife. And if there was a competition, our competition is to make it our business to get you closer to God. You never know. Somebody that might listen to us might advance more than us because that might be our job. You see, when you do what you do for God, it ain't for you to always be on the top. Just like she says she likes to do things in the background. You could be up front and still be in the background because the people that you help and the people that you teach and the people that you motivate might move up before us. Because our calling was to make them rise. And that's why we're here, to make everybody rise and get to know God. Because he already knows. Real Talk with Victor. God bless you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow.